Today is the 13th of January, and it's the 13th day of the Three Rivers Challenge. It's a pantry challenge where you use what you have on hand in your freezer, refrigerator, pantries. Okay, we've got all of our stuff going on here. We have this, we like to make our own pizza crust, but sometimes things get crazy, and we have to have one that's already made. So we've got this pizza crust right here. My helper here, he's slightly wounded.
Yeah.
He's got a Band-Aid. But he did wash his hands, and we think it's going to be all right. He usually puts the cheese and the toppings on really good. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. Now I got a pizza stone in the oven. It's heating up. We're going to throw the pizza on that. And we're going to put these toppings on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we've got to put our tomato paste down. We just go ahead and use this ragu. We use our spaghetti sauce as our pizza sauce.
Yeah.
We use pizza sauce. We don't buy anything extra for, it's spaghetti sauce. We don't buy anything extra for pizza. And then we have the pizza seasoning, and we just put extra pizza seasoning on it, and that makes it taste like pizza sauce.
You can't really much see it, but I'm getting it like everywhere.
Oh, okay.
All over pizza.
Yeah, he's put a little oil on here, and he's getting it all over the pizza crust before he adds the sauce.
Yeah, I like adding sauce.
I do too.
So
Do it again.
Salsa.
Our family really loves mushrooms, so we'll be adding those today. David's going to put the sauce on. Making pizzas are kind of fun, don't you think, David?
Yeah, I think. Takes a little while.
Yeah. Now, we love to make our own pizzas from scratch, including the crust. But we had these in our, here we had picked them up just in case we had a real busy day and we didn't have a lot of time to roll out and wait for our crust to rise. And we wanted to go ahead and use those up. So that's what we're doing right now. So we think we got it sauced up here enough. David's going to put some pizza seasoning on.
Bit on the edges.
Well, it looks tasty.
Yeah.
Gonna put the cheese on next?
Yes. The cheese is the most important part of it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. We did with the salsa.
Yeah.
Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. We need a lot of cheese to cover the sauce, so no one notices.
Can I help you?
Okay. Get a chunk of cheese. Chunk of salsa.
There we go.
Making pizza?
Yeah.
They ate before we came. So.
Oh, did they? Okay, we've got the Little Bits pizza in there. This little dish is one of my grandchildren that don't like to eat crust. She just eats the toppings. So we've started putting her little toppings in a side dish. I'm going to go ahead and put the time on here. We're going to cook this for about 7 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to check it around 7 minutes. Now I make my pizza slightly different for myself. I like onions and green peppers, bell peppers. I like a little different toppings, so I'm going to make mine separately here. We've got the ragu sauce all over the place here, but we got that cleaned up. Okay, I'll put my tomato sauce down, the cheese. I'm going to just cut this onion up in thin slices and put some green peppers and tomato, green and red peppers on it, bell peppers. We'll use up these little crusts that we had on hand. Using these little crusts like this is a good way if you're just starting to make your own food from scratch. This will give you a little fresh start, since most people think making pizzas, the crust part's the hardest part. We've tried toast. We've tried tortillas. We've tried just different kinds of bread, something kind of like a fried bread, to try to make a quick pizza crust. But I guess for a really good pizza, the best thing you can do is make up a few pizza crusts and put them in the freezer. A few pizza crusts from scratch. I think that's the quickest way that you can. I'm putting a little bit of hamburger on mine. I think that's the way you can really have a good pizza crust kind of as quick as you can, and then by the time it unthaws and rises a little bit, you can put your toppings and everything on it. Of course, the onions, I have my pantry. The diced green peppers are from the freezer.
Hi, Granny.
Hi, sweetie.
Can we jump outside?
It is really wet. See if y'all want to bundle up and go out there and see what it's like.
Yay! Okay. I got well, my careful.
I wouldn't wear my new shoes. Use the boots outside. Okay, those little bitties wanted to go on out and play on the trampoline because it's still a little bit of snow left. It's melting fast today, but there is a little bit left, so they wanted to go out there and get out in the snow. We'll cheese it up here. And when this other pizza gets out, I'll put this one in. And we'll be using up our little pizza crust that was for quick time emergencies there. When the kiddos didn't want to wait for a homemade crust to get done. Okay, the oven's beeping. It's time to go ahead and get this out. the little girl's sides. Here's the pizza. Looks pretty well done. Okay, we'll let this one cool off a little bit. I got the next one in the oven. I think I'm going to put it on about 8 minutes because that oven's already heated up and I don't want this thing to burn. That's funny. I use my pizza cutter for so many things. It's good to go ahead and finally get to use it for pizza. They just went out, and now their pizza's ready. Alrighty. I had to take the shears and go ahead and cut it apart more. Oh. That crust really is thin. I'll let it cool off just a little bit and I'll let them know that it's done. Don't touch that hot stone.
Okay.
Which piece you want?
No.
That one?
I just touched the mushroom.
You just want to start with one or you want another one?
I just want to start with one.
And here's the one I'm going to eat with the onions, peppers, the hamburger, all that stuff. I had to take the kitchen shears and help with that other pizza. I don't know, these crusts are not quite like homemade, but they'll do in a pinch, and we had to use them up, so it's a good day for that. All right. They're out there playing and feeding the animals. They're going to give the little rabbits water and everything while they're out there. Then they'll be in to eat the pizza. I'm just cutting this up all crazy. It's hot. Oh, this is really hot. All right. There was enough snow to make snow cream one more time. So we got some very happy grandchildren. Stormy, you back there enjoying your snow cream? Hello. It's January 14th. It's the 14th day of the Three Rivers Challenge. That's a pantry challenge where you eat from your pantry, your freezers, your refrigerator, your cabinets, what you've got dried, whatever you have on hand. You're not going to the grocery store. You're just eating what you have on hand. It is cold. We still have snow on the houses and some on the ground. There's some ice in there too. It's supposed to warm up a little bit today. A lot melted yesterday, and I think a lot will probably melt today. So we're in the house. It's a cozy day. The kids will probably want to go out today because they don't care how wet and cold it is. They just like to go out there and play. So we'll have to see how that goes today. I've already got 2 littles here, and some more will be coming later. If you watched my video yesterday, you saw us make homemade pizza. We used up this pre-bought pizza crust that we had bought and had here in the pantry in case we had a busy day where we didn't have time to make crust from scratch and give it the time that it needed to rise and everything. We could just pull out those crusts and go ahead and make a homemade pizza for a pinch. Well, today I'm going to make goulash. Now, I've got a lot of leftovers from the week, but I'm going to go ahead and make goulash today. It's one of my favorites. I can't wait to make it. We'll make that, and then we'll move right along for the rest of the day. Now, I won't eat breakfast. The 2 kids that's here have already had breakfast. The kids that are coming will probably be ready for lunch, so we'll have to figure out something for everybody there. But today, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the goulash, and that'll be my lunch, and that'll be supper for us too. Today you're in the kitchen with Donna, and today I'm doing the 3 Rivers Challenge, and we're eating out of our pantry just like we've been doing for the whole month of January. Well, I'm going to make a dish that we grew up with, and I don't know why we grew up with it because it's not really Appalachian. It's Hungarian, and that's goulash. And I know there's as many different ways to make goulash as there is any other thing. I mean, everybody has their own recipe for goulash and their own way their family made it. Now, what goulash is, it's a soup or a stew of meat and vegetables seasoned with paprika and other spices. It's a common meal predominantly eaten in Central Europe. What's the difference between American goulash and Hungarian goulash? American goulash is typically made with ground beef and macaroni, essentially a pasta dish that has a tomato-based sauce. Hungarian goulash is a hearty beef stew with vegetables served with paprika and usually served with egg noodles. And so that's the difference in those 2 things. Well, I have hamburger for my goulash. I'm going to go ahead and put this pasta in. I'm using what I have in my pantry, so I don't have macaroni. I've got this penne, and that penne should do just perfectly okay. Now, I've got a couple of cans of tomatoes here that's going to go in my goulash. I'm going to cook this pasta, this penne. I've got some garlic and some green and red peppers, sweet bell peppers, and I'm going to chop up some onions. These are the onions I had yesterday from what was left over from the pizza, and then I've also got the ground beef that I've got left over from the pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these onions, and then I'm going to add them to our pot. Now, I had an aunt, and goulash meant to her everything in the kitchen. I mean, you just never knew what was going to be in her goulash. She just used up all of her leftovers. Instead of calling it soup, she called it goulash. So that's what's in some people's. I've got a little bit of a recipe that I follow, but not too much. And I actually have about 4 different recipes for goulash. But this is the simplest one and the one that I use the most, and probably the one that I grew up with. I don't always use hamburger. I happen to have hamburger left over today from when we made that pizza yesterday. So of course I'm going to use what I've already got on hand, what I've already got cooked. Because that's an excellent way not to waste food. Use it up. Use it up as soon as you can. Figure out another dish to do with those leftovers. Remake it. Reuse it. And you'll be less likely to throw your food away. You'll be able to revamp some of your leftovers and make some wonderful meals from it. Everybody in our family loves onions. We eat a lot of onions. In fact, I think we eat more onions than we do potatoes. I was watching a country life the other day, and her son had a goggles on. He was helping her chop the onions for a dish, and he had goggles on. And I got so tickled about that because we eat so many onions, honestly. I eat so many onions that it does not even bother me to cut up an onion. I very rarely get an onion that brings a tear to my eye. Now I'm going to cook these onions like I always do. That's been a start to many of my dishes. It's me browning the onions. Or just cooking them until they're slightly iridescent. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to let these cook. I've got the pasta cooking. I would use macaroni, but penne is what I've got in my pantry. You know, I'm not buying groceries for the month of January and February, so I'm using what I have, which it'll be perfectly okay. I'm going to let these onions cook for a little bit, and then we'll add some more ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and add salt to these. What's this you got going? Your train track?
Yes, it's the soundtrack before we go.
Okay. Checking on the crew in there. They're doing all right. They're just each playing their own little thing. I'm going to go ahead and add the peppers, bell peppers. It's about a cup of bell peppers here. I have about 1 medium and a half onion in here browning. And we'll go ahead and add the bell peppers to it. I am not going to add the garlic until later. While I'm cooking these onions and peppers, I've got the pasta over here. It's continuing to cook, and I will put it in here as soon as I get it cooked. Here's the garlic. I've got about 4 garlic cloves crushed in here. About 1/4 cup of crushed garlic. Minced. It's actually minced garlic. Just continue to cook this. This is a good day. It's a cold day outside, so it's a good day to have goulash. This is very aromatic, very delicious. It gives you something to really look good forward to munching on. You really don't have to cook the pasta to death because you're going to add it to this dish and it will cook some in the dish. I'm going to go ahead and make a cup of tea. I've got my little Ray Dunn Love cup here. It's still got the price on the bottom. $5.99 from TJ Maxx. And it's the Ray Dunn Love mug. I did wash this mug, but my price tag's still stuck on the bottom of it. I've got honey here. Just pure honey. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. And I'm going to choose the kind of tea that I want. See, I've got several of my favorites out here. I've got Clarity and Calm. That's got ashwagandha in it. That's a good tea. I love Harney and Sons, and I love Taylor's Teas. But this is Gingerbread Festival, and this is a good tea. So I might have that. And of course, I've been drinking my Christmas tree from the Secret Garden. This is a peach green tea. So that would be really good. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this Harney and Sons. Tea. It smells so good. Let's see what's in it. Black tea with ginger, cinnamon, and molasses. Well, how could we go wrong with that? I think I got this from as a gift, and I think it came from Target. So there we go. The ingredients are black tea, ginger root, cinnamon molasses flavor, vanilla flavor, cloves, and it contains natural flavors. So I'm just going to go ahead and have that one this morning. It smells so good. I got it dropped right in here. While everything's cooking, I'll just go ahead and make a cup of tea. Let it be steeping. I can sit down and enjoy it. So there we go. I think that these onions are just about as translucent as we would like them. So I am going to go ahead and add the hamburger. Now this hamburger is pre-cooked. It was from yesterday. And I'd say it's about 3/4 of a pound. Mix it right in here. I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. Now that's quite a bit of garlic. You can add more or less according to what you like. But you know how that goes. Garlic is really good. If you like it, you like it. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cans of tomato sauce. One can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to let this heat through, and then I'll add the pasta. In this case, it's penne. Most of the time it would be macaroni. But we're using what we have in our pantry. I have a lot of penne, so that's what we're going to be using. I'm going to let this heat up together here a little bit, and then I'll put this pasta right into that sauce we got going right here. Well, we got this good and simmering. Everything's simmered together. Now we're going to get the noodles. And add them to the sauce. That was just a 1 pound package of penne. It looks like a lot, but it was just a 1 pound package. Now we'll stir it in. Now here in a little bit we'll add some paprika. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce. And then we'll taste it and see how it tastes. This is good served with sour cream or with Parmesan cheese. And maybe some Italian bread. You know, a good old homemade loaf of bread. And there you go. Well, our goulash is done. I'm going to go ahead and have some for lunch. I'm looking forward to tasting it. Thank you for joining me today, and let me share with you some of the things that we're cooking here on the Pantry Challenge from the Pantry. We're going to continue to eat out of our pantry for the months of January and February. I'm going to go ahead and have my goulash for lunch today, and we'll also have it for supper. I'll make some bread to go with it. Thank you for joining me today for the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. And like always, until next time.